All right, guys, it never stops. Another main event to break down. UFC on ESPN, plus 10. Rio de Janeiro last week, Rochester, New York this week. But one thing that doesn't drop off is the quality of the main event. Check it out, fellas. We got Rafael dos Anjos, former UFC lightweight champion, against Kevin Lee, one of the up and rising stars in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. They're doing it at welterweight, 170 pounds. It's the first time for Kevin Lee. RDA, of course, has been there for a couple years now. The odds are pretty even. In fact, more of the odds that I'm seeing slightly lean towards RDA at about minus 120 or so. On Kevin Lee, you still have to put up more. He's just a minus 110, so he's just a little bit less of a favorite if you want to look at it that way. But technically, Rafael dos Anjos is the slight favorite. Guys, the way I feel about this fight is, wow, it's a tough fight. Kevin Lee is a frequent co-host of this show, and I want to try my best to keep my biases to the side. He's going to be, in my opinion, slightly faster than Rafael dos Anjos, but man, Rafael dos Anjos is an incredible athlete. All right, Kevin Lee is a strong grappler, but so is Rafael dos Anjos. Kevin Lee's stand-up has improved over the years, but so is Rafael dos Anjos. Arguably, Rafael dos Anjos maybe even has displayed his one-punch power more than Kevin Lee has. Kevin, he kicks a lot and he does throw some hands, but he always circles back to his grappling. However, one thing I do like about Kevin Lee is I feel like he hasn't hit his ceiling, whereas RDA has hit his. In my opinion, a lot of it has to do with age and just wear and tear. I mean, he's been in there against everybody. Now, one thing in Kevin Lee's favor going into this fight is Kevin Lee now has an additional 15 pounds that he doesn't have to stress over and put his body through. I think he can have a stronger camp, and I think on fight night, his brain will be more rehydrated and more ready for battle. But basically, it's what I worry about more is the X's and O's. The techniques that are being thrown out there. And Rafael dos Anjos is a beast. Kevin's gonna have to be on point, and I think he's gonna have to initiate takedowns, which he's very, very good at getting against fighters, and keep Rafael dos Anjos on his back. And don't worry about the back take. Look, if it's there, I suppose, if he's damaged, go for it. I've seen some great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts get submitted. But I would say that his strength is in the ground and pound, and Kevin Lee does have pretty good ground and pound, and he should just try and replicate a little bit of what Kamaru Usman was able to do. Kamaru Usman is a bigger fella, so probably a lot easier for him. But I'm going to go with Kevin Lee in a third-round stoppage from ground and pound. But I think it's not going to be an exciting fight. I think he's going to have to play chess, because if he stands too long with Rafael dos Anjos, he could get hurt. So Kevin Lee's mine pick.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I did disagree with the pick per se, George, but if I see anybody getting a stoppage in this fight, I actually think it'd be Rafael dos Anjos if anybody's going to get the stoppage. Now, I actually think that dos Anjos will be like the smaller guy in the sense that I actually think he'll have a slight speed advantage, at least standing. If you scroll down to the breakdown attached to this video, you're probably going to see the pick for Kevin Lee, who was opened as the initial favorite. And that's because I think, even though I'm not a big fan of statistics, they can be very misleading. A lot of them, especially to the wrestling, like George was talking about, go in Kevin Lee's way. Kevin Lee has taken down 13 of his 14 opponents. He is 5-0 against UFC level southpaws. Granted, he had to grapple to beat him. He didn't beat them striking, but it's still an impressive stat nonetheless. And Rafael dos Anjos, he's no joke on the takedowns either. He's 11-3 when scoring at least one takedown. But against that 80 percentile takedown defense, we haven't seen Kevin Lee taken down in a long time. He looks to only be getting better. I think the numbers put it on Kevin Lee's side, so that'll probably be the name on the bottom of this breakdown. But don't count out RDA. I would warn anybody counting him out.
How about you guys?
I think when it's all said and done, I'm going to side with Kevin Lee. But I need him to be aggressive in this fight. I don't know that he can win a decision off of RDA. Go back to the Kamaru Usman fight. RDA was not going away one bit. He was taking shots, but he wasn't giving up. He was fighting the whole time. Yep. And I don't know that Kevin Lee would be able to win a fight like that. I think he needs to get him out relatively quickly. And I would say RDA needs to be somewhat patient and find that hole in Kevin Lee's game and counter it. But I'm kind of with you. I just don't think it's going to happen. If he's going to win, Kevin Lee, I think it is going to be a stoppage. I think it's going to be early, maybe around 2.
Wow. Okay. On the feet or on the ground?
On the feet.
Okay.
You know, real quick, I disagree with the stoppage calls with you guys, even though we're picking the same man. But I got to say that's good goes to bring up because Kevin Lee's gas tank's going to be very dependent. Even in that war with Colby Covington, Dos Anjos was actually getting takedowns on Covington come round 4. So he's got to be prepared for that pace if this goes long.
Right. And again, I point to those additional 15 minutes. Will that make the difference? Because Kevin Lee does get tired. He carries a good frame, and those weight cuts are pretty brutal. But I felt like his mind was telling him to do stuff in the 5th round of the Iaquinta fight, and he just couldn't. And Iaquinta was sharp, you know. Iaquinta was just more fluid, slipping punches, talking to him. You know, Kevin Lee, that was a winnable fight for him in round 5. He just didn't have it. Maybe there was a mental block. Maybe it was exhaustion. Again, I don't want to take anything away from Iaquinta. He was just a better man that fight. I mean, he's 2-0 now against Kevin Lee.
Right.
But now I want to see what those 15 pounds do for Kevin Lee at 170 pounds. 170 pounds. I've seen wonders done for Cerrone. I've seen wonders done for RDA. I've seen wonders done for Jorge Masvidal. Even the other day, Anthony Pettis put one on Stephen Thompson. So maybe he's just a happier fighter out there in Rochester, New York. But hey, that's why we tune in. So keep it locked on MMA Junkie throughout the week, and let us know what you think down in the comment section.